Hello everybody, it's so great to reconnect with you. Welcome to 2023, Here we are. So I hope that you all had a lovely break and a really great new year. This year I've decided to call this year the year to fly your freak flag. And if you don't know what that means, it's actually, I believe, an American expression. And it's used by generally people that would be considered eccentrics, I suppose, or members of minority groups, or people that are not sheep, people who show up however they want to show up. They might have multicolored hair or lots of body piercings or tattoos. These are like the traditional stereotypes of, somebody who's actually just being themselves. And being what they consider, or maybe the general public would consider, to be freaky, I suppose. And in being proud in that, in owning their personal signature of who they are flying their flag. So really showing up as a true individual self. And my husband's just trying to call me. Actually, I'm just going to put myself on do not disturb. There we go. And I might edit this and I might not. So, because this is what life looks like, right? And this is a part of it. It's being really authentic, really being in your integrity, really being honest, actually, with yourself about what you want to do, who you want to be, and not allowing the thoughts, beliefs, feelings of others to compromise that. So it's going to be a really awesome year. Scary too, right? Because I guess, when we step into the real aspects of who we are, when we really start to express ourselves from a fearless place, it can invite criticism from those around us, and it can really trigger us because we can feel vulnerable in that. And so courage is going to be required to various degrees. And if you're a person that feels really secure in themselves, you're going to find this easier than someone that doesn't. But maybe your challenge might be you just don't know who you are, or what you like. And to be honest, those are the same things. If you don't know what you like, the reality is you probably don't really understand who you really are. It took me a long time to figure that out. I had really lined myself up with, what society wanted me to be, how society wanted me to behave, to look, to show up. And it took me years to let so much of that go and to really explore what makes my heart sing. And that's really another way of looking at this year. A heart-led life is a life that isn't just about loving everyone and everything, because that's not always possible. It's actually about being able to walk through contrast, meet people who trigger you, and know that it's not about them, it's actually you. It's always about us. And if we're triggered, it's our stuff. We have such a tendency to project out when we get triggered because we want to, defend ourselves, really. And actually, our triggers are just our body's signal, our mental emotional signal, our spirit's signal to us that there's some work to be done, there's some healing to be done, there's some wounding inside of you that is being triggered by someone or something around you. And this year is really about becoming really adept at being able to navigate the light and dark of who you are with much more maturity, much more integrity, much greater balance. And unfortunately, that generally comes from having had a lot of unbalance, from flying between the light and the dark and the angry and the happy. When you've done that enough times, you get to a point where you're like, what? I need to deal with this. I need to actually look into what's going on here so that I don't flip from one to the other. Having said all of that, the reality is we spent a lot of the last 3 years dealing with a lot of that stuff. And this year is going to be easier in many ways there will be challenges, there will be triggers. There might be a lot of environmental situations that arise that will, again, create a lot of reactive, inclinations, desires. And again, we will be invited to hold our center, to listen to our heart, to really tune into our intuition and trust ourselves and come at life from a place of faith, actually. Faith that things are working out for us, not destroying us, which is potentially going to seem really hard to believe at certain instances. But it's always worth remembering that we are going through an unprecedented experience as a collective in this civilization's memory. So in the last 2,000 years, we've never seen anything like what we're going through right now. And it started in 2020 and it's ending in 2025, as in the shift into a new paradigm is ending. It just really kicks off in 2025 in terms of, really stepping into what this new energy looks like. But we are here in the middle of this right now. And the last few years have been lots of clearing, lots of cleansing. And that will continue this year. But underneath this now is this increasing awareness about who we are, what our needs are actually, and how we are meeting our needs. We've really become so conditioned to expect others to meet our needs. And in that, we've been disillusioned, betrayed, let down, told no, over and over and over. And so we've just got to a place where we're like, just gonna settle then. Just gonna take what I can rather than what I want. And actually, that's the old paradigm. Now it's about us taking ownership of our own needs first by really getting clear on what makes our heart sing, what makes us happy. And that is really the heart-led life. That is understanding what animates you. When you're around somebody and you walk away from them and you're buzzing, you're like, that was amazing. I feel amazing. My gosh, I've got so many ideas. Like, you feel inspired, energized, enlightened. That is a person you want to spend more time with because they are bringing something to your life. They are, but not because they're necessarily giving you anything, but just being in their presence. That is lighting you up. And guess what? Having been with them, lighting you up, you now go and meet someone else, you're then carrying that light. And that's really what this is all about. It's actually us becoming familiar with the ideas, the activities, the careers that we can do that will light us up. And as each of us turns on, there's this ripple effect that will happen. And that's essentially what this is all about. It's about moving into a paradigm where the lights turn on and the light is within us. But it's on us to have the courage to look for the light. It's on us to have the courage to own what comes through us, what sings to us, because what our deepest desire is the same thing as our purpose. And the reality is that there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of skills, a lot of gifts that are coming through right now into our current space-time reality that have not been seen in our civilization before. And these are skills, gifts, talents that we as souls have mastered, learned, become really deeply familiar with in past lives that are now being reawakened within us as we move into an energy that can support them. It's like we've got all these switches in our energetic DNA that now we've moved into this new energy, these switches are able to turn on. They weren't able to turn on before because they couldn't maintain themselves, the fuse would blow. But now the energy we're in, it supports that energy. So these switches are just flying on. And we're all experiencing these new perspectives, new insights, new gifts that are coming forth within us, new desires. And a lot of it can be weird and unexpected, but beautiful at the same time. And it's just us finding the courage to lean in, to be unafraid about exploring them. And then when we get excited about it, sharing it if we feel to. Whatever we're inspired to do, that's the good stuff. We mustn't come from a place of motivation anymore. We got to come from a place of inspiration. And you know when you're ready to birth something, because God, nothing's going to keep you back. It's just pouring out of your very being. And if you're not there yet, you might be really clear on what you want to do, but just not feel motivated, not feel ready, or maybe don't even understand why you haven't done it yet. All of that is perfect and okay. It simply means that you're not yet energetically aligned with what you're birthing. It doesn't mean that what you're birthing isn't the right thing to be birthing, the right project, the right career move, the right relationship shift, the right, country move, whatever it might be. You might have real clarity on where you want to go, but not for some reason not be making a move yet. That's all okay. Please wait until you want it. Wait until whatever it is inside your being has clicked into alignment, is turning all the bells and whistles on, and is screaming, okay, now let's go. Because when you get to that place, everything you do in that energy is gonna fly. That is pure creation energy. And if you're not yet there, it's all okay. Because you must be clearing stuff that might be in the way of that. And if you try to push too early, you're just going to meet resistance because the channel's not clear yet. And this is what I'm describing here, is working in a new way. It's working with the energy you're in. This is the new paradigm we're moving into. It is this knowing that there is a timing to things, there is a flow in things, that every single thing in nature is constantly showing us that there is a time period where things are needing to be birthed. Babies take 9 months, animals take all different types of birth periods, but we watch flowers go from seeds to saplings to flowers. We're watching this all the time in nature, and we don't give ourselves the same beautiful opportunity to enjoy the journey. And that really is what it's about. It's about really understanding that we don't have to have everything done by yesterday. That coffee is a symptom of a culture that demands everything now. And it does not allow for things to happen in synchronicity, in flow, in the feminine. Don't worry, you don't have to quit coffee if you don't want to. It's just about increasing your awareness of a different way to show up at life. And validating it inside yourself. It took me so long to grow comfortable with spending hours on my sofa clearing my energy. When my husband would, go out and go to work and go and he's got his own business, and he'd rush off and do 1,000 different things. And what are you doing today? I'm going to spend the first few hours just doing energy work. What does that mean? Well, clearing, just energy work. Don't worry, you don't need to understand. And I would feel guilty. I'd feel like a waster. I'd feel like, I wasn't getting enough done. But as I cleared my energy, I started to not only feel differently about that, because I moved into a much greater place within myself, I also saw the benefits of what I was doing. Because as I took the time to do the healing actually on the inside, my outside experience got easier and easier and easier. And that's because the energy that I was lining up for things from within myself first made it so much easier for me to receive and align with opportunities that were coming towards me. So I'm just touching on very lightly a few new ways to show up in the energy that we're moving into. And I will be going into this in greater depth over the year in different podcasts. But what I also want to share with you in this one is that I am also stepping forward and flying my freak flag because I have come into the deep awareness that a big part of my spiritual remit in this lifetime is to act as an energy transmitter, a channel, if you like, for divine light to come through me in different ways, through both voice, speaking, talking like this, but also through specific energy transmissions that help me connect with higher beings of light who want to come through and share various messages with humanity. Along with this is a really profound use of sound. Now, I've been talking about gifts reawakening within you. I have been experiencing this firsthand. About a year and a half ago, I couldn't sing any better than the average Joe Blow. Okay, singing was definitely not something I did. I was not a karaoke fan, just never even thought about it. It was just something I enjoyed listening to other people do. And then I noticed that my voice started to change. In the last year and a half, my voice has dramatically changed. I'm not saying that I'm now the best singer out there by any means, shape or form, but I have a range that I never ever knew I could do. But in the last year, I have realized that this has been for a very specific reason, as I've received more and more messages from Spirit around why this is happening. And doing healing on people has also enlightened me as to why my voice has been changing, because as I've been working on people's bodies, energetically clearing blocks, whether it's remotely or in person. In fact, the first time this happened, it was a remote session. I was just online with someone. They were in a completely different location, and one of their ribs had slightly come out, and basically I was just helping them realign their rib, and I was doing it energetically, and all of a sudden this tone just came in, and it was bizarre. I was like, okay, why is there a tone in me, in my mind and my sound, within my being? And the invitation was for me to make that noise. And it was hard at that point for me to make that tone because it was quite a low tone and my range was only just coming in. And I was working on a gentleman and I asked him to do it with me. And he did for a while, and then I did it, and I did it some more, and his rib actually clicked back into place. Now, I know this might sound miraculous, but really it's not, okay? Frequency is everything, everything is vibration, everything is atoms, molecules, all moving at different speeds. And when you start to understand quantum physics, you understand that frequency is the thing that drives vibration, and that frequency is created through feeling, but I won't go into that now either. All I want to express to you is that I have come into the awareness that I am also here to use sound to effect change on people's energy bodies. And so at the end of this little talk I'm giving, there is actually an energy transmission for 2023 that I received yesterday that is basically offering both sound and guidance around the energy that we are currently in, and it touches a bit on what we're moving into. But as we continue our journey through this year, I will be supplying more and more energy transmissions. So it may not resonate for all of you, and that is okay. But for those of you that do feel called to it, the reason that the sound is the way that it is, I'm not trying to sing in this. I'm literally actually trying to emulate the tones that are coming into me. So this isn't about me singing. This is more about me creating the sound to support your frequency, your energy body's frequency. So I do say this as part of the transmission, but to give you a heads up, before you listen to this, please make sure that you're lying down with your eyes closed and just allow your body to just receive the sound and allow it to move through you and just see how you feel as it does it. So I hope that you enjoy, and I look forward to sharing more of these with you. If you want a personal energy transmission for yourself, for where you're at right now, I am now offering these. They're called soul readings, and you can get these on my website at www.kwilson.love/healing. So yes, if you're feeling called for your own soul reading, then just drop online and yeah, make your purchase there, and then I will tune in with spirit, make the recording, the reading for you, and then I send it to you so that you have it. Have an amazing year. Let your freak flag fly. Be audacious if it's necessary. Allow yourself to be seen. It is safe now to be seen. And if you are not received by those around you in the way that you would like to, it might be time to make changes in your tribe. The people who appreciate you in every way, who appreciate what you're doing, what you're offering, what you're just being, who you are, these are your people. So don't see that what you offer to the world, if it's not received well, don't see it as something you've done wrong. See it as an indication that changes need to be made. Because if you're following your heart, if you're putting yourself out there in all honesty, one, you're going to get better and better and better at what you're doing anyway. And secondly, you are really lining up with this energy that's coming in, and this energy will support you. I'm so excited for all of us. There will be challenges this year, but as long as we listen to our hearts and we tune in with people that lift us up and support us, we will be safe and well. Sending you so much love and look forward to reconnecting again with you soon. The transmission will start shortly, so if you want to tune in with that, then just carry on listening. If you'd like to save it for another time, then do so. Take care, beauties, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
This is an energy transmission for 2023. Please put headphones in. If you wish to receive the fullness of this energy transmission, I invite you to lie down with your eyes closed, palms up. Dear Mother, Father, Spirit, thank you for your love, your light, your healing, and your guidance. May the light within us guide us forward. May we receive everything that we need on all levels of our being, in all levels of our life. In your name, may it be so. Amen. I call forth our spirit guides, our guardian angels, and the most elevated aspect of who we are in this time-space reality. I invoke the ultraviolet flame, and I ask that you cleanse our fields of any energies or entities that are not in service to our highest good now. I call upon the crystal obsidian, and I ask that 12 pillars of obsidian be placed around our field, and that a mirror, a cloak of mirrors, be placed around that, so as to deflect any energy or entity that is not in service to the highest attention from entering the sacred space. Mai onai ai kai o Kia lau noite ka paitena Iho naita. There is a clearing of the mass consciousness occurring. The sacral chakra is being heavily affected. Iramaiti, there is a deep and powerful release happening on a collective level, which is why there is a period of discomfort being experienced by many in this time. These tones are to support the sacral chakra in this experience, to help it feel strengthened, empowered, as it moves more into connection with the light that sits within us all. The ascended beings gather in Shambhala. Karania Maya Laetai Kainea Morakai He Alainai Atai Kiaranai Kiaratura Shakia Maya Ronoa Kiara Inea Oea Mai Tayara Rariaranoa Ikai Paya Laia Inai Arora Nanani Arara, chanting for humanity. The ascended beings on the Shambhala mountain gather together, holding the frequency of love to support humanity as it continues its journey into the womb of the mother. Their tones supporting the shift in the solar plexus chakra. Ayamaita hinaita. As we shift into the collective consciousness, as we move into the remembering of knowing that we are part of a network, that we must work in unity with each other. This chakra moves from the I to the we consciousness, allowing ourselves to remember that we are worthy of support, that we are worthy of help from those around us, that to be a collective consciousness allows for us to act as part of one, all separate parts of one. We work in unison together. And in this flow of dynamic energy, in this unity, we come together remembering the joy of family, the joy of togetherness, the joy of powerful, heart-led creation. In our togetherness, still holding the seed of our individuality, it is this balance between both aspects of ourselves as an individual seed of unique consciousness, as well as that seed being part of a universal, global flower, of which there are many seeds, each one beautiful in its own right, each one supported by those around it. It is this balance of the I and the we in the light that now comes together. The garden is being seeded. The garden. And gentleness, softness, all of these aspects of ourselves that have been diminished, overreached, trampled upon. These wondrous, glorious, gentle aspects of ourselves are being invited to thrive, invited to step forth so that the sunlight might fall upon them and they blossom into fullness. The strength you see will come through softness. The strength, the power, the force of life will come through surrender. It is through complete surrender that we've experienced the magnitude of life force at its most abundant. It will require courage to allow this abundance to flow through you, you who have been taught to earn love. Will now receive teachings on receiving all that is meant for you. crystal waters, the rose quartz waters step forward to the Earth Collective. They wish you to know that the water that runs through your veins holds their frequency, the sacred frequency of love and light, and that every glass of water that you drink, you can co-create with. It does not matter where this water springs from, as long as when you come into connection with it, you take time to connect with the power of water. For water is the reflection of life. It holds the codes to everything in existence. And if you take the time to connect with this precious source of life before you consume it, you have the opportunity to magnetize your being with that of sacred, holy, powerful, life-giving life force. Simply communicate with the water before you drink it. Send love not only to the water, but whilst you hold the water, send love to humanity and allow yourself to receive it. This love exchange allows the water to take on the frequency of love and amplify it, so that when you consume this precious magic liquid, you are literally consuming love and allowing it to move into every cell of your being. This is conscious living. Allow yourself to live consciously in 2023. Please think upon a colour. Whatever colour comes to you now, call that colour into your body, into your being. Allow this colour to call forth the crystal that wishes to work with you and this colour. Allow this colour, this crystal, permission to support your life force now as you receive a transmission that will help activate your throat chakra and support your ability to sing your unique song out into the world. See the color that you have called in, filling your auric field. And the crystal that has resonated with your being, feel its crystalline frequency resonating, co-creating, singing with your heart song, and allow this color and this crystal to sing through you, with you, as you. Kilana eme aeta. The ancestors from the Hawaiian Islands whisper across the realms, sending the sounds of their grass skirts, blending with the sound of leaves blowing in the trees, the she oaks, the weeping willows, the gums, the acorns, the beautiful wisdom trees that carefully wrap their beings around this crystal that we call Earth. They whisper to you now, the ancestors, the elements, the wisdom keepers. They whisper your name. They whisper your name. They want you to know it is time for you to sing. It is time for you to speak up, to be present, to take up space, to be seen, to be heard, to be celebrated, to be honored. It is your time. It is safe now. It is safe for you to be seen in all your glory. Step forth. Shine your light into the collective so they might better be able to see the light that shines within them. This is the message for this year. Blessings be upon you, beautiful one. Thank you, Father, Mother, Spirit, for your love, your light, your guidance and your healing. Thank you to all the beautiful beings that came through this transmission, that contributed to the love and light that we have just received. Thank you to our spirit guides and our guardian angels for holding this sacred space for us. May you please support the integration of the activations and energies that came through this experience over the coming days, weeks, months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This transmission is now complete.